Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today I just want to talk about few things, getting back into the story, the history. I grew up at times there were no internet whatsoever. The computers starting just to be around, showing up, but no internet. Up until, as a matter of fact, I haven't seen internet all the way up to its appearance, like to 2000s or something like that. That's when I already started using it. But so back in the days, when I was young, I was doing a lot of music, right? I was playing in a band, and the way to so for example, we were not playing only our songs, but we were playing somebody else's songs, for example like Metallica or something like that, right? And for us to know how to play, we had to sit down, listen to the original, and try to play it ourselves. So we would match the tabs, the notes, but we would not have any notes, any tabs, none whatsoever, because in Belarus at that time, of course, you couldn't get nothing like that. So why I'm saying that? Because from the really young years I learned to listen to the sound really good, and I got a knowledge on how to recreate the sound really well. So, and then I went up to the aviation, the simulators, etc. Started doing the sound packs, and this is what I'm doing right now. So to me, when I create the sound pack, I'm not only copying I'm not only copying the original, which is the original aircraft. I also, as an artist and as a person who understands the sound and also understands and knows really well aviation, I know how it works. So what I do is I recreate the sound that way, so you would feel it as much as you could. It's really hard to explain, but for example, if you would have matched, for example, 737 or even A320, 321, let's say CFM, from the video, right, or from the recorded audio, your outcome would be 70%. It would be pack or like avionics, and not much to it, you would catch a lot of mistakes on how the sounds spread, because any microphone or any recording device, it always lies. So I'm not gonna get into the specific details about this. I just want to, for example, when you hear on the video, like when you watch from the cockpit when a plane takes off, you probably have noticed that when it takes off, for example, if there's a loud sound, like a loud jet blast or anything like that, the microphone, it's not able to catch it, and what it does, it just lowers the volume. Basically, it's become overloaded and distortion, so you would only hear distortion, or it would point out some other, for example, like avionics, cooling, right? If you would just record the avionics cooling, it would not sound really nice, and no microphone ever would catch like the depth of it, you know, and the highs and lows. But at the same time, I don't want to do the fancy sounds like most of the sound makers do. And by I mean fancy, that's what I mean when they bring up the highs and they bring up the lows and they cancel the mids, and the sound in your brain tells us, oh, this is a clean sound, this is really nice quality sound. It lies to you, basically. So I want to, when I do the sound pack, I copy the sound the way it is, plus on top of all, I install, as I could say, install, or I introduce the I'm sorry, I'm just I didn't make any text, so it's kind of hard for me, as the English is not my first language anyways. But what I'm trying to say is that I make accents on the sound. So for example, if there's a vibration from the gear, right? You can reproduce somehow the vibration in the sound, but it's not going to be that vibration. So I put out an accent to vibration by inserting the low sound, like the low, very low sounds, etc. Stuff like that. So with this sound pack, IAE, I'm gonna give you few examples from the real videos, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on the sound pack, and you can compare. But keep in mind, yeah, that in the videos the videos can only do so much to show you how it really sounds. A320 family is known for the loudest cockpits. It's one of the loudest cockpits. So but I understand that 70, maybe 80% of consumers, of people who buy sounds, they're just simmers, and they want to have fun, and they don't want to be in an environment of the cockpit who is obnoxiously loud with the wind sound. That's how it is in reality. But at the same time, I don't want to lie and create not the sound pack that is far from reality, and lower down the sound, if you know what I mean. So I will leave it up to you. One sec. Ever since I've installed this DLSS 4, it's kind of given me strange problems. So I don't even think I would recommend. You see how what it does? That's crazy. And with the lossless scale, lossless scaling for sure, it's not working correctly. So I'm not gonna use it. That version for sure does not work well with lossless scaling. So the previous one, it was working good. Now this one is not, but that's okay. So yeah, so I don't want to lie to you and give you a wrong sound. So I will have an option for those of you who want real sound. There will be later in updates. I will create two versions of the sound pack. One is the one that is one-to-one to reality, right? With all the accents and all of the effects of what I was saying earlier. So it's not gonna be just a avionics cooling, if you know what I mean. And in the other version, it's gonna be a little lighter, sort of like, well, put out a little bit of less wind, or it's still present, it's still there, it's still loud, but not as loud as reality. So I'll leave that to you, and you can choose which one you want, the reality version or the comfort version. Although two of them will be great and well to hear. So what you will hear right now is something in between. Something in between them. Because A321, it's compared to 19 and 20 aircraft, it has its cockpit is farther out from the engines. So you would hear the saw and the engine sounds a little bit lower, of course, than 320 and 19. But you would still hear all the accents to it, you would still hear all the vibrations and all this stuff. All the saw, everything. So I'll give you instructions in the next service pack. I'll provide two versions and I'll give you instructions on how to do it. By the way, the sound pack is already out in Blue Sky Star Simulation Store. And the links would be, I will throw links in description of the video, but you will know it's blueskystar.net, all together, no spaces. Okay, so without further ado, let's hear some of these. So I will not list all of the sounds I've made in this sound pack, because there are many and plenty, and there are a lot of reworkings and a lot of additions, as usual. The main thing is should be concentrated when you hear the sound pack, when you purchase it, is that you will have an A321 sound as real on your computer. So for 10 years I've already been doing it, doing the sound packs, and 2 years prior to for commercially, sort of like making money. Before it I was doing it for free. And Airbuses, that's something that I've started a long time ago. So these versions of IAE and CFM that are currently out, those are the latest ones. So this is like improved over improved version, you know what I mean? So I came cleaner, fixed all the pitch mistakes, fixed all the volume mistakes, and all of this stuff. So Eval is like an evolution of it. Alright. Okay, so let's play a few videos. And then in process, maybe I'll remember something. Of course I will remember something. What else to give you a note about. And then the promo video will be out soon as well. Alright. So I've just randomly I've browsed through numerous videos on the internet with the IAE. Most of them were from 320 and 19, but don't be afraid. It's still the same engine. It sounds the same on 320 or 19 or 321. The only difference is that it sounds a little bit quieter in the cockpit as for 321. And the other difference is that in 21s, the thrust goes a little bit higher than 20 and 19. This is why sometimes when you see those videos where, especially at Toga, when you almost cannot hear the saw anymore, like it's so fast, and then it would come out like, wow, you know. So of course all of that is present. So yeah, this is a format of the stream, so I wasn't prepared for the video, so excuse me if I will take breaks and if I will stutter or anything like that. Okay. So I will let's see this video here. One sec. Many. All right. Notice how you can hear the knobs when he twists them. You can hear the altitude. So out here, same thing. These knobs are pretty loud as well, in reality. So the same thing here. My volume is a little bit lower than theirs there in the video, but I can match it. As well as I don't wanna give too much volume because I'm using the microphone over it. So the quality, of course, will be lost over the stream and over the fact that I'm recording this without any headphones. Alright, so yeah, as you can hear, knobs. This is just to show you the volumes. I mean, there's a lot more to it, of course, and I'm not going through the items like I said. Like here, I did the knobs, I did this, I did that. I just wanted to show you a few, how do you say, few scenes, okay? Few scenes. Okay. Well, it doesn't like that. Now remember, this sim does not like escapes. Alright. By the way, when you watch this video, note how they almost crash into the birds. There are many birds in this video, you'll see. I'll show you later. Now this is 320, of course. Now again, like when you look at this video, you might see it and be like, oh, the saw and the wine is not that loud. But again, remember what I was saying just earlier. It is not that they're not loud. It's just that how the microphone it airs out pretty much. I don't know how to explain it in words, but it overloads with it's too much waves, you know, too much sound. So for it. So they're doing about 85 on N1, although this aircraft is calculated by EPR on IAE, but it's easier to note on the N1 to compare to. Look at the birds now. Look, birds, 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 and she saw it. So you see how the sounds, they're like changing? Because it can't withstand all of that loudness and all right. So now let's check it out. Why is not given flex? I don't understand. But this is about 86, 85, same thing. Possibly because I was messing around with buttons and stuff. So you see, as we cleaned up with the gear and all, and the gear doors closed, all these sounds came out, and it's much cleaner now. And now it's speed up time. Now again, I've matched all of this, so in out here, it's the same story. Although, as you can see, it sounds different. And matter of fact, here it will sound different, and here. So it's all 360 game. Notice how the sound of saw is much thinner in the cockpit. This has to do with physics of the sound. Not gonna get into too much detail about it. But as we speed up towards 250, normally you would hear a lot of wind here. So in the 321 story, that would be something like that. comparing. So comparing to the sound of engine and wind at that moment, it would be more of that. But as your ear and body perceives it in reality, it's still like that. Understand what I'm saying? Because you sit there, your body catches the vibrations, your ear hears it much differently than any recorder would record or any video would show. So I speak to the pilots of that type a lot, and we've done measuring inside the cockpit and cabin as far as decibels and what level of what. So the engines here, what I've made is that they all of them are in every altitude, like ground or air, different weather, stage, speed. It all sounds different. So if we would run it on the ground, it would sound much more different than here. Some of the sounds appear, some of the sounds disappear. So you can see it's really smooth. So again, one more story. You see how it's so loud here? It is loud, but it is not as loud as the video might show it to you. Because all of this, like all of this wind, etc., and the recorders and microphones, they're really bad about that white noise stuff. They're bad about catching it. Notice how he's changing an arc and you would still hear the click. So if the wind would be super loud, of course you would not be able to hear what he did in the cockpit, but you hear it. So that's just what I'm saying about it. So out here, the same thing. You can hear it. All right, we're at 10,000. Also, one thing. Let's bring her back around and land, and then I will show you some other videos, and we'll do some other demonstration. Yeah, I really enjoy this model. I think that it's under like the way that it's there's not much attention to it and all attention goes to Phoenix. It's wrong. I mean, it is what it is, but people who fly this type, they know that this model is far ahead of Phoenix by all means. And I don't want to cause holy war about this, but even with the system wise, so this model, I still hope that in future it will get deserved attention and deserved love, because it is the most exact 320 family right now in the sim period, as well as the level of study level. None of these here, like unlike in Phoenix, have don't work. Like they're all working, and they all the ones that's supposed to show messages, they all show messages. And you got big stuff like here. Like if you disconnect one of these, half of the plane will go out. You know, and as well as consequences. But this is more into the model itself. We're not gonna go. We're just gonna stick to the sounds here. All right. Not gonna do too much of the SOP here, because the idea of the video is not to show you an SOP or do a proper flight or anything like that. The idea is to show you the sounds. Alright, 3106. Although we need to enter these. And I'll just enter 200 here. Alright. Let's just do a normal ILS approach here. That can go out for now. Yeah, normal ILS approach. Proper speed and flap management, and this would help us. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it like that. Lago. We'll direct it, but we'll select it for now. And fix info, TPA, one left. All I need is 15 miles, and I much need, let's say 7. Alright, so this is all entered. Alright, let's descend. Now, when you descend, you'll hear the bassy sound of vibration here. You usually hear.
Time. Your tray table must be stowed.
You're the guy there talking now. Now, when you're flying and you can't see, when something is like 90 degrees past and below you, you always use the rows. Alright, so we'll go down, then slow down. Just can't do both, as you know. Although I should say the DLSS 4 is pretty sweet. I'm still trying it out. That should be like that because it draws a resource. I hope you guys can hear the sounds well. I'm not sure. I haven't tested it. Bring down to 5,000. Lagoo 3,000 is about 4,000. Okay. Now, let's hear some of that spoilers. And guess what? You hear the really low sound of it. And it's more like a vibration. I might actually, in a service pack, I might actually even... Yeah, it's about as loud as it can get. Can't get it any more louder than that. Some of you who have headphones, they'll hear it, and then they'll hear it on their own computers. But on the stream, I doubt that you guys hear this. But this is to the level of reality. It's not. It's not too loud, not too. Alright, let's Lagoo her in. Alright, you can see the deceleration point there. Now, the 15 nautical miles, you usually want to cross that at around S speed. So when we get close to that border, I'll go ahead and slow down. And the glide slope interception is at 3,000 AGL usually. Now the altitudes like below 10,000 feet, it's not recommended of using any open descent, especially when you're like changing just 1,000 feet, like from 4 to 3,000. It's always recommended to do a vertical speed. Alright, so now activate and see. Now we're gonna need a spoiler. Now some of you might not know that, but if you need even more spoiler, you can disconnect the autopilot and then the spoiler panels will come out even more. But we don't need that. All we need to do is pass that amber speed. There you go. And flap 1. And that's what we want ideally to happen, is we are below, we're intercepting from below. Approach. Localize, it's captured. I still want to drive up to, well, we'll use that plateau to slow down. So you see now we are intercepting at S speed. That's ideally. Let's look. Capture. And fly 2. Manage speed. You see, oh, it gets quiet here. All gets quiet just before it's gonna get loud again, and by that I mean when you drop the gear. And here it is. If you find yourself on high energy
2500.
at 2500 at radar altitude, dump the gear higher. Like usually it's 2000 AGL, but if you're in a high energy situation, 2500 is the good place to dump it. And it's a 7-mile marker right here for a reason. Alright. Arm that. It's my first flight of testing the DLSS for fully. Flaps 3. And flaps 4. See, it's around 40 and 1, and you just hear that tiny high pitch saw, not saw but whine in front, but on the side of the engine you won't hear. And as we get slower, our ground speed gets slower. The sounds are getting louder, as you can see.
1000.
Now you have even more whine. So you see how the sounds are transitioning. $1,000 stabilized. Now the flight dynamics are perfect on this one. It's spot on to 320, 319 and 321. It's rigid. It's rigid,
500.
inert, but it's like on point, you know what I mean? It's sharp. Alright, down, no blue.
400.
Slightly above here. Land green.
300 above.
Now getting. Okay, get on the money. Slightly shaky
200
here.
minimum.
Continue. This is usual situation in hot states where you got. As you go down, it starts to
100.
shake you up a bit.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard.
Roll out. I wanted to give you that full reverse. Exactly full reverse. Manual braking. Now let's taxi a bit, and then I'll show you some other stuff, and then we'll compare it to. We did in flex takeoff. We'll also do the toga, and comparing this to another video I have. But before that, we'll park at some nice spots so we can do the following. Now these drivers are strange. I don't know if they're good or not. They're strange so far. Strange spikes. yeah, let's see here. See, I say to myself over and over again, and I break the rule over and over again. I said, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. Don't try to fix it. And then I break that rule again and again and again. Because today, earlier, was working quite nicely on the previous drivers. And then I decided to... And now I can see this bunch of stuttering, even on the modes that were never stuttering. I might roll back from that. Hopefully I can roll back from it. Alright, let's stop here and show you something here. Alright, now let's hear some of the tones, okay? So notice how, when I was saying, when we were on the approach, you hear some of those high-pitched sounds, like really like ear-piercing high-pitched sound. This has to do with the physics on how the sound spreads. Oh, now you see how our brakes are getting hotter and hotter? This also has to do with physics. That they actually are getting more hotter after the landing, not at the moment of they're getting used up, but when you exit, this is the highest point. So let me use the brake. You won't be able to hear the brake fan, by the way. Maybe just if something is open. Now, I tried to recreate the most, like the same decibels you would hear it, pretty much. To the point of that my walls shake. But at these safe distances, we're good. Notice how, let me turn off the all other sounds so now check out this vid. This is a run-up, but the guy who's filming it, he's inside of the car. So it's a bit more quiet, but it's still, imagine, just imagine. Is that here? It's a strange sound from my computer. Okay, let's start from this. Now, it might be different because of the temperature. Because if temperature is higher or lower, the thrust, idle thrust and all other settings will be higher and lower depending on the... Let's do that. Okay. Okay, now what it does. So we'll set aside a little bit further out because, and that will simulate that we are behind the window. I told you it's gonna be loud. They're doing one and another one. Yeah. Oh, my bad. I think this is close to the to the around 50% or maybe more. Yeah, it's that's where it stops before it goes to climb. Yeah, you see? See how it's spooled up fast? One of it is still on around 50-70 and the other one goes up. It's loud, so I'm gonna make it a little bit quieter. Things of that nature, okay? Unfortunately, I can't tell what thrust he was using. And there's another. Let's see. And you got the mighty 90. Sound of the jet blast. Now something is broken here for sure. It's not supposed to sound like that. I'll fix it. It's almost like the game can't take that low of the sound. Alright, now finishing the outside story. Of course, you can do it like this, and then you'll hear some of the outside as well. It is loud, guys. What? Alright, let's do a little bit of other run up. So run up from the cockpit. You heard it probably already, some of it. One sec. So you hear those high-pitched sounds. And notice a lot of like air sounds, right? This is because the gear door is open, and a lot of the air and jet blast are coming inside of it. And it's basically bouncing back from the tarmac and from the ground and hitting back the fuselage. So as soon as we are on a high speed, as soon as we are speeding up, like when we take off, it's gone, as you heard. And the last you can hear it, and when you raise the nose gear and close the, retract the gear. That's about 87. $92. That's Toga. So, depending on the temperature of the day, of course. But we would have changed the temperature. Watch. See? Goes up to the point. So you see, you hear less and less like saw. This is so loud and so fast. Alright, now let's run up from the cabin. Notice how it's more pronounced and more like a mature saw over here, because it's partially getting covered by the calling. It's from the side, so it's more you go towards the cockpit, more high pitch is gonna, more kind of like open it's gonna be. And the more you go towards the end, towards this, the less and less you'll hear them. But out here, you'll hear some other sound. That is a core, an engine core. Well, some of it you'll hear and fan and core here. So if you listen close enough, you'll hear both. I hear it. Now to compare here, possibly would be better to move towards like here. See, it also depends, like I said, if what temperature it is, and I bet they're at what? Oh, PHX, they're high altitude as well. This is one of those true sound videos. That means you gotta listen to it really high volume so you can be able to hear. There you go. That's more like towards the other couple seats more down, but we can't choose them, so we can only do this. So again, all these sounds, different altitudes, different factors, all sound different. Now, to finish off, let's taxi, fill out really fast the MCDU, and do one more video with a toga. Ассаламу алейкум, злодеи. У тебя нет полис погрузка земель мысов восприят? Нет, нет. У меня есть проблема сейчас, что с последним драйвером, вот этим вот, который unreleased, какое-то странное стало. Ну, я посмотрю, попробую рестарт сделать там еще. Also, I'll find a way to do it next time in service pack. When you apply the engine, when you apply the thrust, I want the panels to shake. So I'll find a way to do it. Oh. I need to adjust the tiller. It's too sensitive in some ways. Okay. All right. Yes, something is not right. As far as the something's not right in performance of after those drivers were set. Oh no, never mind. This is I was thinking I was never mind. One left or oops. Let's try in our nav instead. Okay, now we'll do no flex, toga. One eight up, toga. And we'll do configuration 2. Two 1-8 up. Now watch this video, guys. Watch this vid. Remember how it sounds, and then I'll repeat it. Опять дома летаешь. Всегда дома летаю. Не, у меня проблема сейчас сугубо только сегодня появилась, потому что я поменял там кучу. Я это починю сейчас. Давай я закончу этот ролик и буквально 3 минуты еще осталось. И дальше я буду отдельный стрим запущу. Это как промо. Там потом отвечу. Okay, guys. It's in format of live stream, so all right. Now check this out. You probably know this video. It's 319 though. No, it's actually 320. 2 moments. One here. Notice the thrust. Notice the thrust here. about 47. You heard it? Okay, that's about 47 of N1. That was. But it takes a bit. $47 or $50, something like that. Or even more. And then watch this and remember that one. Although the runway they take off was going to be really bumpy, so. Bumpy, bumpy.
Get up. Down. Right up.
See how quiet it became? Just a saw. Okay, let's do that one the same. Yeah, it's crazy legs. Wow, it's bad. It is bad, guys. I'm gonna roll back on the. On whatever I did. Wait, maybe the V-Sync is the key. I don't know why that was on. I don't think that's supposed to be on. Maybe that will fix it. Oh yeah, that's much more better. So yeah, the V-Sync was fucking up. Okay, okay. Oh yeah. Oh gosh. So much better. I don't know how that came in. Oh my goodness, it's so good. No, forget about it. I'm not rolling back. Okay, now listen to this. And then after that, if I would be you, I'll be heading to the store. Let's go. SRS runway. Why every time? No, something is wrong, guys. It's still doing it. It's messing up again. can see, you can hear it. You hear more bass since we are airborne, and the vibration is now spreading onto our fuselage. So there will be, yeah, like I said, it will be a version where you would hear already the wind start crawling up. Is the real one, and the one that is more kind of softer. So this one, as you can assume, the softer one. Alright guys, so the full promo will be out tomorrow, I'm thinking. Just needs time to record it. And as always, safe flights and happy flying, happy simming. Semi climb, I guess. We'll see ya.